here we are at the beginning of the Eastern Trail, the northernmost part of the trail, and we're at the Bug Lighthouse, right? I don't know if it's even visible between us. I think it might be. And it's a little busy up here on a Sunday afternoon, so we're going to head south. There's a debate about how long this trail is, but it could be anywhere from 25 to 28 miles, depending on what you look at. And
off we go.
The Eastern Trail Alliance states on their website that the trail is more than 65 miles long, starting at the New Hampshire border and ending in South Portland, Maine. In this video, we're going to focus on the off-road miles from Bug Light in South Portland to Saco. The northernmost 5.6 miles of trail, also co-named the South Portland Greenbelt Walkway, makes its way south from the trail's northern endpoint, Bug Light Park, along the Fore River and neighborhoods south of it. Bug Light Park is a waterfront park with a lighthouse dating to 1875 and expansive views of tankers, sailboats, and the Portland skyline. When we got to this section of the trail, it was closed due to construction, but the signs mentioned the Betsy Ross house, so that piqued my curiosity. Did Betsy live in Portland at some point? It appears she didn't, and this is the name of a senior living provider. In our first 3 miles, there were many on-road segments that weren't apparent from the map, and there were a lot of road crossings. So I purposely provided a little more footage of this area so you get a good feel for what the first few miles heading south from the Bug Light is like. It appears that drivers are used to the bikes, or the law requires them to stop if bikes are at a crossing, because they were very polite. The Eastern Trail is part of the developing East Coast Greenway, a 3,000-mile pedestrian and bike trail connecting Calais, Maine to Key West, Florida. This trail was inducted into the Rails to Trails Hall of Fame in 2022. So we're barely 2 miles down the trail, and I don't know, I don't like this trail at all. Well, maybe it's because my knee is bothering me, and there's so many roads to cross up here at this end at least, that, you know, it's hard to get going again for me, but it's also pretty crowded.
Well, it may be because it's Sunday, but it is, you're basically going through neighborhoods and a little bit of everything. It's one thing to people in Maine, if you're on a kind of a side road, they all stop immediately and let you pass, which makes it quite a lot nicer.
I think that's the law.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it is.
I think I read that on a sign, but I wasn't sure. I was too busy trying to not get hit by a car. Not that one threatened me. I mean, did you see those two bikers ahead of us go barreling through the couple with the baby and the not on e-bikes, by the way, barreling between two people walking this way and a couple and a baby and a dog going this way, and the guy said, could you slow down a little? And I think the guy on the bike, I'm not sure if he flipped him off, but I saw a hand going up like this. So I don't know, I hope this picks up, but right now I was happier at the Bughead Lighthouse than I've been on this trail so far. So,
and off we go.
This trail has a fair amount of bumps in it too, so you can't look too much to the side because it's not the smoothest of trails. Probably purposefully to keep people from going super fast through the neighborhoods, because here's another stop. Some things just never change.
We say that each time.
Took a bite before I videoed my food.
Just turn it around. Nobody ever
So
knows.
this is Blackened Haddock tacos, and Randy's a copycat. He got the exact same thing.
Except for fries. Very good though. I highly recommend it.
The trail passes through the athletic fields at Wainwright Sports Complex. It's 66 acres of developed athletic fields. Before the trail starts on-road segments for 4.4 miles through Scarborough. We're about 5 miles, give or take. Down the trail we just went through, I think it's called the Wainwright Athletic Complex is what it's called. And right here is where you start the 4.5 miles on the highway. And we drove up that highway in the car on our way to start this trail ride. And I don't know, more power to anybody who wants to ride it, but we're not getting on it.
Well, there was very little, if any, shoulders, and a lot of people were going, not necessarily too fast, but faster than we're comfortable with them going by us.
So we're going to skip this 4.5 mile segment and go back, get the car, and probably finish up the rest of the trail where we don't have a big break. This is the bow of the ship thing on the inside. Huh. We rode from our campground up about a mile to access the second part of our trail ride. This section of the trail had a handful of road crossings, and it was mostly in the woods. At any major intersection, they had warning lights, so when you pushed the walk button, it alerted drivers to stop to let you pass. The trail takes a straight shot through Scarborough Marsh, a breathtaking expanse of saltwater wetlands that's Maine's largest at 3,100 acres. It's the largest salt marsh in the state, and you can rent canoes or kayaks at the Maine Audubon Nature Store. Marine birds are a frequent sight along nearly 2 miles of beautiful coastal trail, and there are 2 commercial oyster farms and hundreds of commercial and recreational clammers operating in the marsh. Okay, we're on the Eastern Trail again this morning on a different section, and we've gone about 3 miles on the trail from where you get on from our campground. We rode directly from the campground, not even half a mile to get to the trail. It's a little tricky, but I videoed it so people can find it. Okay, so here we are on this beautiful bridge overlooking this marsh. I'm not sure if it would be saltwater or not, because it could be, but it doesn't look like it's subject to tide, so we don't really know. We'll have to look some of that stuff up. So far, this section is, I prefer it to what we did yesterday, but we still crossed in 3 miles 5 road crossings.
Yeah, actually it's not paved, but it's probably smoother than the paved path, as the roots and whatever were quite a lot of bumps on an older pavement.
But even on a Monday, it's pretty crowded.
Yeah, it's a real nice trail, a comfortable day. You might see that it's a little cloudier today than yesterday, but beautiful for trail riding. And off we go.
Okay, I just wanted to take a second. I don't know how this is going to look, but this is like such loose stuff. it's pretty, I don't think it's dangerous, so we might walk for a little bit. What do you think this is?
I'm not really sure. I want to say it's a delta, maybe. It's got basically, inlets going all through it.
Delta?
There we go.
Delta, dawn, step flower, you head on.
Look at you.
Okay, so you were just asking about how I felt about my new DA brim hat. So it just hooks, it doesn't even hook on your helmet, it just sits here and it keeps the sun off you. And I thought I didn't want it this morning because it was cloudy, but I'm glad I have it now. Other than when the wind is pretty heavy, you feel like the flying nun. And some people will understand that reference, but some people won't. So. Okay, this is where the road, the 4.5-mile road section starts. And we have to get on US 1. I don't think so. So we're gonna turn around and go back. Next we headed south from where we originally got on, towards Saco. So what do we got here?
We got a nice little water filling and bottle filling station. And it's kind of handy to have these things on the trail.
And it's right where we would come back to the road to get back to our campground.
Yeah, we're about a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile from the campground now.
Okay, but this is mile 15 on the trail. We're at the 16 3/4 mile marker, and I don't know if this is, it's I-95, how you get on I-95 and 1, and it just doesn't look like this is going to be any fun anymore for a little while. So this must be the section where you have to go through Saco on the roads. We don't even want to try to do it. We're going back.
Yep. And off we go.
You can rent these little carts, pedal carts, and tear around the campground.